Hi guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my Dickens project. Never sure whether to I'm not going to call it an announcement because I'm not sort of doing it with other people. This is my personal project. But for the whole of 2023 and the last month of 2022, I'm going to be finishing all of Dickens's main novels. I'm not including The Mystery of Edwin Drood or any of the short stories because for starters, The Mystery of Edwin Drood was never completed. Although if I get a chance at some point, I will try and get to that. But this means that by the time I've read all this, it will be all of his main novels read. I have already read Great Expectations and David Copperfield, both of which are two of my absolute favourite classics, as you would have well known from another video about the top 5 classics. David Copperfield was in that. And I've also read Oliver Twist, and that was alright, but not as good. So my cat's going crazy again. So I've read a lot of Dickens works, and I've also read Our Mutual Friend, and there was another one, and I can't remember what it's called, but I've read that as well. Mixed reviews, mixed feelings on this. So, sorry about the cat. So I've read a lot of the Dickens' other books. I didn't like The Mutual Friend as much as I liked Great Expectations and David Copperfield. Oliver Twist was okay. I've read The Tale of Two Cities. That was okay. I read Hard Times, which was recently, and I really enjoyed that. And there is another one, and I cannot remember which one for the life of me which one it is, but I've read it. So these are the books that will be completed by the end of 2023. So, as you would have well seen from my December TBR, I am reading Bleak House in December. Yes, it's probably one of the biggest ones. So this is the only one I'm reading over 1 month. And that was because daft old Apeth of me said Bleak House was a book that needed to be read by the end. It was on my books for classics for 2023. And I left it at the last minute. Not my most sensible option. My copy is 740 pages. But Alice from Alice's Giant Bookshelf said her copy was about 1,000. So you can see my print is very small. It's got very small print. But my copy does have pictures in it. Because it's a Wordsworth Classics. And, oh yeah, I just saw a nice picture. Where is it? I'm going to see if I can find another picture. My copy's got pictures in it, which looks really gorgeous. Now, Alice said this is one of her favourite Dickens, one of her favourite classics. Apparently, it's a mix of comedy and tragedy. It's got a heroine, Esther Summerson, who is psychologically interesting. And then we've got an unnamed narrator as well. It apparently is a bit of a mystery as well. It's got indictments. It's got black comedy, which I like. I like black comedy, so I think they're really good. It does scare me because of the size. So the fact that I'm reading it over 1 month, I'm going to kind of give myself 200 pages a week. And then I'll have to read less on the last week because obviously the last week of December is like Christmas time. So I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to be practical in the fact that I'm going to get the last like 100 to 150 pages, I think, sort of read in the last week. So that's my goal. That's how I'm going to separate it out. Actually, I might separate that out now. But that'll be my December book. Then January, oh, by the way, I am not doing it alongside Katie from Books and Things Dickens Project because she's reading it over 2 years and she's got sort of different books to read. And so some of my schedule matches up with hers, but not all of it. So I will link Katie's channel down below and there she's got her announcement for her project. But like I said, I'm doing it on my own. If anyone wants to join me on any of the books, let me know. I'm reading them over 2 months. I'm quite laid back. That'll be my plan of how I'll do it. Because from what Katie said and a few other people that read classics have said with Dickens, it's best to read them in like short bursts. So not necessarily only a little bit every day, but like a big chunk every few days. So that's how I'm going to do that. And January, I'm reading Nicholas Nickleby. And January and February is Nicholas Nickleby. And I'm glad it's January and February because this one is even longer. It is 769 pages. What have I done? I think how I'm going to do it probably is going to be like just over 400 pages in January, because February is a shorter month. I'll read a bit less than that, maybe like 450 pages in January and a little bit less in February, because February is a shorter month. I don't know much about Nicholas Nickleby. I've got the gorgeous Wordsworth Classics edition, which probably looks like it wasn't a gift, so it looks like I bought it myself. So it's written after the Pickwick Papers and Oliver Twist. I don't know the order. I'm not reading it in like Katie in publication order. But this is hailed as a comic triumph, and it firmly established Dickens as a literary gentleman. It's got a supporting cast of delectable characters that range from the inquisitive Wackford Squares and his family to the delightful Mrs. Nickleby, taking in the eccentric Crumbles and the travelling players, the Mantellys and the Kenwicks and many more. Combining these with typically Dickensian elements of burlesque and farce, the novel is eminently suited to dramatic adaptations. Don't know any more than that. This is my plan for January and February. Hopefully I'll start the year off with a really good one. Now, the next one is a book that's been on my TBR for probably one of the longest. I bought it because I saw it years ago on Charlie from Charles Heathcote's channel. I bought a really old battered copy of it, so if I like it, I'll get a decent copy. It's not in like, it's a Penguins Classics edition. Penguins Classic, but this is a really, really old copy. Great. What have I let myself in for? This is, my copy is 920 pages! I'm reading this over March and April. I'm glad March and April are longer months. What have I let myself in for? It's also my birthday month and my kid Thomas's birthday month. Okay, let's hope I like this, but it's a smaller book, so I'm hoping because it's smaller, like physically smaller than the other ones, it won't feel as long. It's wealthy old misanthrope, I can't say that blooming word, Martin Chuzzlewit regards selfishness as so endemic of the Chuzzlewit family that he disinherits his grandson and obstructs his courtship of Mary Graham. As the intrigues of the plot take hold, domestic tyranny is vividly depicted in the establishment of Mr. Pecksniff's public villainy, spawning blackmail and murder, and it's uncovered the goings-on in the Anglo-Bengali disinterested loan and life company. It's about selfishness and humbug. Charlie from Charles Heathcote always says he's a bar humbug. He's my favourite bar humbug. He really is my favourite bar humbug ever. So I'm looking forward to this. Yes, it's big. Yes, it's depressing. But it's not got any pictures. If I like it, then I'll buy a Wordsworth Classics edition. But I hope I like it. I'm actually thinking I need to put these here. Then for May and June, I am reading Barnaby Rudge. And that looks really good as well. I've heard, again, this is apparently a vivid historical political novel by Dickens, and it's centred on the infamous No Popery riots instigated by Lord George Gordon, which terrorised London in 1780. Dickens' targets are prejudice, intolerance and religious bigotry and nationalistic fever, together with villains who exploit their selfishness ends. And there's another murder in it. He seems to like murders. This is one of his shorter classics, and it is 600 and, yeah, just over 600 pages, 650 pages. So it's one of the shorter ones. May and June, that's kind of good because it's Mia's, got a school trip and it's Mia's birthday and it's when she's, yeah. So that'll be nice to sort of start the summer already with this. Really looking forward to this one. I don't know why. Barnaby Rudge is the one I'm looking forward to. It's my gorgeous Wordsworth Classics again. I love my Wordsworth Classics. I've got most of them are Wordsworth Classics, apart from I've got Penguin Classics in a minute. Then in July and August, as you well know, I treated myself to the Old Curiosity Shop. It's going to be read over 2 months, and this is even shorter. So I'm kind of selfish in the fact that I'm glad it's the shortest book because it's 544 pages. But obviously it's going to be done over July and August, which is the kids' summer holidays. So I think it will work having like a really shorter one in that month. And this is the Old Curiosity Shop. Is its combination of sentimentality, grotesque and socially concerned, and the story of pursuit and courage, which sets the downtrodden and the plucky against the malevolent and villainous. And it was a popular success apparently. Little Nell quickly became one of Dickens' most celebrated characters, who so captured the imagination of his readers that when the novel was being serialised, Minnie wrote to him their fate. Yeah, so this looks really good. I don't want to know too much. Again, it's always got lovely pictures, this one. I love it. God, what am I obsessed like with the pictures? This is gorgeous. I'm glad it's one of the shorter ones because it will work with the fact that it's read over the summer months. I know some people are like, oh yeah, summer months, you know, you're going to have more time with the kids. But if the kids are off, I actually have less time to read because I'm going on holiday as well. So I'm going on holiday in July. Wait a minute. So yeah. And then September and October, Dombey and Son, which I think is the biggest. No, it's not the biggest. It's 911 pages, 800, basically it's 800 pages. So that's not bad. It feels the biggest. Don't know why, but it feels the biggest. And this is, Mr. Dombey is a man obsessed with his firm. His son is groomed from birth to take his place. Despite his visionary eccentricity and declining health, but Dombey also has a daughter whose unfailing love for her father goes unreturned. Girl, said Mr. Dombey, has nothing to do with Dombey and Son. But apparently this is more about Mr. Dombey's daughter actually. When Walter Gay, a young clerk from his father's office, rescues her from a bewildering experience on the life of London, his unforgettable friends believe he is well on his way to receiving her hand in marriage. This is really good. Really looking forward to this one. Not sure which one I'm looking forward to most. And then finally, to end the year with, I'm reading a book that actually, like Katie's lot are reading at the moment, and that is The Pickwick Papers. And my sister is currently reading this from Charlie Book, and she says it's like more of a set of short stories within this. So it's more of a sort of selection of stories. And this is one of his first novels, apparently. And readers were captivated by the poet Snodgrass, the lover Tupman, and the sportsman Winkle, and above all, the quintessentially English Quinox, Mr. Pickwick and his Cockney Sancho Panza and Sam Weather. It just looks like a load of short stories combined. Pardon me. Rising rage and extreme bewilderment had swelled the noble breast of Mr. Pickwick, according almost to the bursting of his waistcoat. My copy of this is... Oh my god, the writing on this is ridiculous. This is going to kill my old eyes. 754 pages. But, as you can see, the writing is teeny tiny. This doesn't have pictures, which kind of, I like the picture bits, but it does look good. It's got a lot, it actually looks quite pretty. The writing looks pretty, but it's gorgeous edition. So I hope I like it. But Charlie's not liked it as much as she liked like Great Expectations and David Copperfield, which kind of puts a little bit of fear in me because I love those ones. So let's hope I'm ending the year all right. I will probably, if I get a chance, read The Christmas Carol at the end of the year as well. But these are my books. And I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited about doing this. Like every year I kind of like pick one of the classic authors to read. So that year, 2023 will be the Dickens, and then I'm going to go back and reread all the Bronte books in 2024. That's kind of I'm looking really far ahead, but that's kind of the lines I want to go on, unless I find another author that I need to sort of really crack on with. I am also going to be trying to read a few more Hardy books. I've got a video that's coming up in next month. The very start of December will be my classics for 2023. But a lot of those are more of the modern classics and other classics that I need to get to. And they're going to be a real range of shorter books and longer books. And they're not just Victorian classics. Because I don't want to have too many Victorian classics going on alongside the Dickens Project. Because otherwise I will probably kill myself off. But what do you think of the order that I'm reading these books in? Are there any books that you would like to buddy read with me? Let me know down below. I'm happy to set up buddy reads on either Voxer or depending on if there's more people, I'll do it on Voxer. If not, I'll just do little chats on Instagram. That's quite a nice place to chat. Let me know down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring up my ding-a-ling, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.